everyone, welcome back to Multi Magics channel. I'm Bhavita and you're watching Full Stack Web Development series where we learn by doing. In the last video, we have completed our HTML structure for the real use case, that is nothing but timesheet management system. In this video, we are going to start the CSS course where we can add styles, colors, layouts to make our website more beautiful. Okay, without any delay, let's jump in and get started with CSS. In this video, we are going to cover the six topics. Introduction. In introduction, what is CSS? CSS syntax, how CSS work with HTML, and different ways to add CSS. And second topic is selectors. And third one is CSS colors, CSS backgrounds, text and fonts. And here is the last one, the CSS box model. Let's look one by one. CSS syntax is a set of rules that used to style your HTML elements. Basically, the CSS syntax consists of three main parts. One is selector, property, and value. Selector is nothing but the HTML element that you want to style. Either it may be the paragraphs or headings like that. And coming to the property, the aspect of the element that you want to change. For example, either it may be the font size or color. And coming to the value, the specific style that you want to apply for your tag. In this example, here the P is the selector and the color is the property and the value is the sky blue. In this example, the paragraph will be viewed in the sky blue color. And let's move to the next topic. Here is our next topic, how CSS work with HTML. Basically, the CSS work with HTML by simply selecting the HTML elements and apply styles to them. To get more clarity, let's see the example for that. Let me open my folder structure. I have created the CSS Basic Beginner folder in Full Stack Development folder. In this part 1 introduction, here is our topic, how CSS work with HTML. In the title, I'm gonna give the name as CSS works with HTML. In the body section, I'm going to create one heading tag. Welcome to CSS course. Welcome to CSS course. Let me give here the capital. And let's create one paragraph as well. I'm going to use the lorem text here. Okay, we have created one heading and the paragraph. If you want to apply styles to them, you have to simply select this tag and add CSS in the head section by using the style tag, right? First, I'm going to target the body. The body, let's set the background as light blue. Okay, let's next select the heading tag h1. Let's set the text color as dark blue and text align property. It makes your text center because it is heading, so that's why I'm using the text align property. Text align center. Let's set CSS for the paragraph. I'm going to use the font size as 20 pixels, and the font family sans serif. It just means the style of the text. Let's see the output. Here is the output. If you observe here, the body has been in the light blue background, and coming to the heading tag, here our text is in the dark blue and it is in the center. And we have applied for the paragraph, we have applied the font size and the font family is the sans serif. This how the CSS work with HTML. By simply selecting the tags, you're gonna add CSS like this. Let's move to the another topic. Here is our next topic, different ways to add CSS. Basically, there are three ways to add CSS to your website. First one is the inline, second one is internal, and third one is the external. Let's see one by one. In inline CSS, let me open index.html file. This method is used to add CSS directly to our HTML element by using the style attributes. Let's see it. I'm going to give the title as inline CSS. Coming to the body tag, let's create one heading tag. Welcome to inline CSS. One paragraph tag. I'm going to use the lorem text. Okay, we have created one heading tag and the paragraph tag. Here I'm going to use the style attribute because it is inline CSS. Inline CSS means you are going to add CSS directly to the HTML element. Let's set the color as red and text align property center. Let's add CSS for the paragraph also. Style equals to, let's set the color as green, font size as 30 pixels. Let's see the output. Here is the output. The heading tag is seen in the red and the center, and the paragraph is seen in the green color. In this example, if you observe, the style attribute is used to add the CSS directly to the HTML elements for the heading and the paragraph tag. It is useful when you want to style the single elements. It is not good to use for the large projects because your code would get become messy. That's all about for the inline CSS. Let's move to the internal CSS. In internal CSS, you're gonna add all the CSS in the head session by using the style attributes. Let's see the example for that. Let's set the internal CSS as the heading title, and coming to the body, let's create one heading tag. Let's give the text as welcome to internal CSS. Paragraph as well. Lorem text with 25 words. Okay, we have created one heading and the paragraph. To style the heading and the paragraph in the head session, we have to use the style tag. This is nothing but the internal CSS. Let's set the background for the body. Background color as bisque. Okay. Okay, let's add CSS for the heading as well as the paragraph also. And set the color for the text blue and font size as 50 pixels. I'm going to use this property text align center. Okay, let's add the CSS for the paragraph. Color is red. I'm going to give the border for this paragraph 1px with solid black. Let's see the output. Here is our output, the heading tag with blue color text and the center, and the paragraph with border with black color. With internal CSS, your styles are neatly organized, but it is useful when you have only this single HTML file. For the larger projects, you need to repeat the style for every HTML file. So it is better to use when you have only single HTML file. Let's move to the another topic, the external CSS. Here comes the most recommended method, that is the external CSS. You're gonna write all the styles in the separate file by using the .css extension. You're gonna link this file in the HTML by using the link tag. Let's see how we can do it. Let's set the title as external CSS. Coming to the body section, let's create one heading tag. Welcome to external CSS. Let's create the paragraph also with 25 words. We have created one heading and the paragraph. Let's write the styles in styles.css file. Let's set the background color for the body. Background color as like, let me give like Alice blue. Not Alice blue. Let me take this color. Okay. For H1, give the text color as crimson and text line as center, and font size as 50 px. Okay, let's add the CSS for the paragraph also. Color as green and font family. I'm going to set the family, so font as sans serif. Okay, I'm going to give the border for this also. Border 1 px with solid blue color. Let's see the output. Before this, if you want to link this style file in the HTML, in the head section, you have to link the CSS file by using the link tag. You have to specify the file name in this place. What is the CSS file name? Style.css. Style.css. If you see the output, here is the output. Let's change the background. It's not looking that much good. Okay. It's look better. If you see the output, here is our heading with red color and centered text, and here is our paragraph with border. That's all about for the external CSS. The main advantage of this external CSS is you can style multiple HTML files by linking the same CSS file. It is better for the large projects and also make your code clean and organized. Let's see the quick comparison. First one is inline CSS, quick for the small changes, but your code become messy. Coming to the internal, it is better to use when you have single HTML file, but it's not reusable. Coming to the external, it is ideal for the large projects and also make your code look neat and organized. That's all about the different ways to add the CSS. Let's move to the another topic. It is our next topic called selectors. In CSS, the selectors are used to target the HTML element so that we can style them. We can target a heading, paragraphs, or even a single element on a web page. Here are some common usage selectors in CSS. First one is universal selector, type selector, class selector, ID selector, and group selector. Let us explore all these selectors while we are doing the coding. Okay, let's open the VS Code. In this selector folder, let's open index.html file. Let's set the title as selectors. Coming to the body section, here I'm going to create the few of the tags. Let's create the H1 tag first. Let's give the text as like coffee house. Let's another heading with about cave. I'm going to use another tag with paragraph with lorem text as 30 words. Let's create another heading by using H2 tag. In this, I'm going to give the text as like menu. This create the set of list items. For that, I'm going to use here the div first. In this unordered list, let's create the list. First one is the cappuccino, espresso, and latte. Right, we have created the headings and the paragraph and even the list. Let's set the ID as well as the class for the tags because we have to style them, right, by using different selectors. Let's set the ID as like highlight, and I'm going to use the class here, class as note. Even I'm applying for the list also, assigning the class for the list as like giving the same name as note. Okay, let us explore all the selectors one by one. Let me open my CSS file first. The first one is the universal selector. Let's give the comment as like universal selector. What is mean by this universal selector? In CSS, the universal selector is used to style all the elements on a web page. It is denoted by asterisk. If I apply any font style on my web page, it is going to select all the elements and apply the font style for whole the page. Let me show you how this works. The universal selector is represented by the asterisk. If I set the font family as sans serif, it is going to apply for my whole page. To apply the CSS for my web page, I need to link the CSS file in HTML document at first. Let's link in the head session by using the link tag, and you have to specify the CSS file name. Here our CSS file name is style.css. If you observe, the font style has been changed on my web page. This is how the universal selector works. If you want to apply the styles globally, then you can simply go for this universal selector. Okay, the next selector is the type selector. In CSS, the type selector is used to target the specific type, either it may be the paragraphs or the headings. In this example, we are going to target this H2, whatever the styles will be applied, it is going to be applied for both these H2s. Let me show you how this works. Let's give the command like type selector. In this, we are going to target the H2. Let's give the properties like color and set the text color as green. If you see the right side, for both the headings are visible in the green color. Even let's give the background color also, background color as beige. If you see the right side, the background color has also been applied. The type selector are great if you want to apply the same style for the specific types. In this, we have targeted the H2 and apply the few styles. The styles has been applied for both the H2s, not for the other elements. Okay, all right, let's move to the another selector. The next selector is the class selector. A class selector is used to apply the style to the HTML elements, those who have the same class. That means the style will be applied for those elements only, without touching anything on the page. In this example, we have assigned the class for the paragraph and for this list item. whatever the styles we will apply, the styles will be applied for this paragraph and for this list item. Let me show you how this works. Before that, let's give the comment as class selector, and the class selector is denoted by period, nothing but the dot, and followed by the class name. Here our class name is note. In this, let's set the color as like red. If you see the right side, for my paragraph and for the list item or viewing in the red color, let's set the font size also. Let's give as like size as 20 pixels. The size has been increased. By using the class name, you can style like this. In this example, the style has been applied for the paragraph and for this list item because we have assigned the same name. The classes are reusable. You can apply them for the multiple elements. Let's move to the another selector. Next selector is the ID selector. ID selector is used to style one specific HTML element. It starts with hash and followed by the ID name. It just giving the tag name to the person. When you call that person, that specific person only will respond. Like that, in the manner, in our code, we have assigned one ID to the h1 tag. By using this name, we are going to apply the styles for this specific h1 only. Let's see how this works. Let me give the comment first. Let's give the ID selector. In this, we have to, it starts with hash, the ID starts with hash and followed by the ID name. Here our ID name is highlight. Let's give the text element property. It just make you the text as center. Observe the right side, text element property, and set the background color for this. Background color as blue. Okay. Let's set the color for the text also. Let's give like Alice blue. Okay. Okay. Let's give the border also. Border radius as 8 pixels. It just makes you the curve around the box. Okay, here it is. It just center the text, and the text color is in the white color, and the background is in the blue color. And that's how the ID selector works in CSS. It is perfect for styling one single element on your page. Keep remember there should be only one unique ID per page. That means no two elements should have the same unique ID. And it is perfect for if you want to highlight the title as well as the footer like that. In this case, this ID selector works very well. Let's move to the another selector. The next selector is group selector. In CSS, if you want to apply the same style for the multiple elements, then you can simply go for this group selector. Instead of writing separate rules for each element, you can group them by using the comma. Let's see the example. In this, I'm going to group this paragraph as well as this div session and applying the styles. Let me show you that one. First of all, let's give the comment as like group selector. In this, I'm going to group the paragraph and the div separated with comma. If I give here background color is going to be applied for both of the things, both the paragraph and the list items. Background color as like, let me give here like powder blue. Powder blue. If you observe the powder blue has been the background has been applied for both the paragraph and the list items. You can also set like the font weight as bold. It just makes your text as like bold. If you observe, both the text has been visible in the bold color. That's how the group selector works. Instead of writing separate rules for the each element, you can simply go with this group selector if you want to apply the same style for the multiple elements. That's it for the selectors. Here we have seen the universal selector, type selector, class, ID, and the group selector. Try to practice all these things so that you can get more comfortable with this. Let's skip to the another topic. Here is our third topic, that is the CSS colors. In CSS, colors are used to style your web page from the text, backgrounds, and borders, and even more. In CSS allows you to specify the colors in the various ways, like by using the color names, hex codes, and RGB and RGBA values. Let me show you the step by step. Before that, let me open the VS Code. In this colors folder, let's open the index.html file. Let's set the title as CSS colors. Coming to the body, in this I'm going to create four divs with four different classes. Let's give the text as like this is style by using the color name. I'm going to copy this and paste it. Here I'm going to change the text here to get you more understandable. This is styled by using hex code, and this is styled by using RGB value, and this is styled by using RGBA value. Okay. Let's assign the classes for these divs. First one, I'm going to give like color name. For the second div, let's assign the class name as hex code. For this, let's assign the class name as RGB. Here the class name as RGBA. We have assigned the four class names for the four divs. By using the class names, we are going to apply the different colors formats in the CSS. Let's style each one with different color types. Let's move to the CSS file. Before that, let me link the CSS file in this document. Style.css. Okay, let's get back to this CSS file. First one is by using the color name. In CSS, there are predefined colors like red, green, blue. We have to mention the color names like red, green, blue, like that. Let's see by using the color name. Okay. First one we have the class name is the color name by using the color name. The class name is starts with period and followed by the class name as color name. And this, let's set the background color as yellow. Here we are just specifying the color names, not any codes like that. Okay. Let's give the text color as red. And here I'm using one property called padding. It just give the spacing No need to bother about that. We will discuss in the box model. Okay, let me show you the output. Okay, here is the output with yellow background and the text is in the red with padding 10 px. Next one is the hex code. We can style by using the hex code as well. Let me comment this hex code. Here the hex code is nothing but the hexadecimal code. By using this you can apply the colors to your web page. It is a 6-digit character code, starts with hash. To get these values you can simply go to the Google and search for the color picker. You can simply select the colors from here. Whatever the style, whatever the color you can select, the hex codes will be visible here. You can simply select and paste it in your VS Code. Let me give here the class name as the hex code. Hex code. Let's set the background color for this also. Background color as, let's go to the Google picker. This, let me take this blue color. Okay, let's copy this hex code and simply paste it in our code. Okay, here it is. Okay, in this text color, let's give like, let's go to that one and take it from that. Let me take this color. It makes you visible, the text will be visible. Okay, let's see the output. Okay, if you see the right side, the background color is blue color and the text is in the white color. Let's give the padding here to add the space in between the box. Padding is 10 pixels. Okay, let me minimize this. Okay, now it is visible. This how you can set the colors by using the hex codes. Next, move to the another. That is nothing but the RGB values. By using the RGB values, by using the RGB values, you can set the colors by using these RGB values. Here the RGB stands for red, green, blue, and the values are range from 0 to 255. For that also you can simply go to the color picker and you can choose the colors from there. We have given the class name as the RGB. Okay, let's take that class name first, period, and followed by the class name. Okay, let's set the background for this also. Background color. Background color, let's go to the color picker and select the color from there. Let's go to this. Let's select this color. Here the red value is 194 and green value is 52 and blue value is 201. The ranges are from 0 to 255. Simply copy this and paste it in your code. Before that you have to specify the RGB. Okay, okay, let me show you the output. Okay, here the background color has been applied. Okay, Let's add the color for the text also. Let's give the color as like Alice blue. Okay. Okay. The text color is visible for us. Let's set the padding for this also as 10 pixels. Okay. That's look nice. Okay. This how you can also set by using the RGB values. Let's move to the another. We have last one, that is the RGB values. You can also set the transparent colors. This how you can set the colors by using the hex codes. Next, move to the another. That is nothing but the RGB values. By using the RGB values, you can set the colors by using these RGB values. Here the RGB stands for red, green, blue, and the values are range from 0 to 255. For that also you can simply go to the picker and you can choose the colors from there. We have given the class name as the RGB. Okay, let's take that class name first, period, and followed by the class name. Okay, let's set the background for this also. Background color background color, let's go to the color picker and select the color from there. Let's go to this. Let's select this color. Here the red value is 194 and green value is 52 and blue value is 201. The ranges are from 0 to 255. Simply copy this and paste it in your code. Before that, you have to specify the RGB. Okay. Okay. Let me show you the output. Okay. Here the background color has been applied. Okay. Let's add the color for the text also. Let's give the color as like Alice blue. Okay. Okay. The text color is visible for us. Let's set the padding for this also as 10 pixels. Okay, that's look nice. Okay, this how you can also set by using the RGB values. Next we have the RGBA. In this, the A stands for alpha. The range is from A is 0 to 1. Here the 0 means fully transparent and 1 is the full opaque. Let's see how to add this transparency. Before that, let's give the comment like by using the RGBA values. In this, let's target the class name. We have set the class name as RGBA. In this, let's give the background color as RGBA. Here R stands for red and G stands for green, B stands for blue, and A is for alpha, which makes it transparent. Let's set like 40 as red and green as 67. Let's set the blue as 201 and A stands for alpha, right? Let's give here like zero point 0.3. Let me remove this first. Which color I have got? It's kind of blue color. To make it transparent, let's give like zero point 0.4. If you observe the last one, the color has been become transparent. This, let's give the padding here as 10 pixels. The color is transparent. If I remove this, it is showing like the blue color, right? For that, if I add the transparency, it makes the transparent. Okay, all right. We have set the colors using different formats such as the color names, hex code, using RGB values, and also the RGBA values. So that's how you can apply the colors in various formats in your project. Keep practicing to get more comfortable. Let's move to the another topic. Here is our fourth topic, that is nothing but the CSS backgrounds. CSS backgrounds are used to set the background colors, images, and the position and the size. And even you can set the gradient colors as a background. Let's explore all these things one by one. Before that, let me open my VS Code. In this backgrounds folder, let's open the backgrounds color folder. In this, open the index.html file. Let's give here the title as background color. In this body, I'm going to create the bunch of paragraph tags with lorem 20. Let's create with 30 words. Simply copy this and paste it. Okay. We have created the bunch of paragraphs, and this, let me link the CSS file first. Style.css. Okay, we have created the bunch of paragraphs. Okay, let me create few more paragraphs. Okay, that's enough. Okay, let's go to the CSS file. Simply, if you give like body, for this body, if you set the background color as like sky blue, the background color has been applied. You can set the background colors like this for your whole page. You can also set for this specific paragraph also like that by using the selectors like class name or id selectors like that. Okay, if you want to set the background as a gradient colors, you can simply, let me show you. Before that, let me comment this. Let's give here for like gradient color, and this, let's take the body, this set like background property as linear gradient. In this, you have to give uh, the direction of the colors to the right. Let me give here like red, blue, sky blue, yellow. If you observe the back side, it is going towards the right position, the gradient color. Let me change this color. Okay, that's not bad. And let me change this color also. Okay, if you observe the output, the gradient color has been applied as a background. This is how you can set the normal colors as well as the gradient colors to your web pages. Let's look how to set the background image as well. Let us know how to set the image as a background. In this background image folder, let's open the index.html file. In this also, I'm going to create the bunch of paragraphs. Lorem text with 50 words. I'm simply gonna copy this and paste it. Okay, let's open the output. There is no background image right now. To set the background image, simply go to the CSS file. Okay, let's set the background as an image. For that, let me take the body. In this, we have to use the background property to set the background as an image. In this URL, you have to specify the image name. My image name is wallpaper.png. If you observe the right side, the image has been set for my web page. Okay, if you observe, my image is repeating. If you want to control this repeating, you have to use one property called background repeat property. To stop this, you have to use this background repeat property. If you pass the value as like no repeat, the image is not repeating, right? You can also control the position of the background. You can give like center, or you can also pass the right like that. Let me use the background position property. Background position, here I'm going to pass the value as the center. Let me see it. If you observe, the image is in the center, but there is a one thing, the image is not filling the entire page. For that, there is a one property called background size is cover. Background size. By using this property, the image must be filled for entire page. Let's see the web page. If you observe, the image is filling for entire page. This how you can apply the image as the backgrounds. Alright, we have seen how to set the background as a colors or the gradient colors, and even we have seen the image how to set as a background. Let's try to practice all these things to get more comfortable with. Let's move to the another topic. Here is our next topic, that is nothing but the text and the fonts. In this, the texts are styled by using the text formatting tags, and also we can style by using the different fonts. Let's explore all of them. Let me open my VS Code. In this text, okay, in this text and fonts folder, let me open the index.file. In this, I'm going to set the title name as CSS text and fonts. Let's link the CSS file also. What is the CSS file name? Style.css. Okay. Coming to the body, here I'm going to create one heading tag as well as one paragraph. Let's learn. Let's learn the text and fonts. Okay, we have created one heading. Let's create one paragraph with 30 words. Okay. Okay, we have created one heading and the paragraph. Let's style them in the CSS file. First one is the heading h1 tag. In this, I am going to use the font family first. Let me open the output first. Okay, let me minimize this. Here is our heading and this is our paragraph. Let me maximize this. Okay, let's go to our CSS file. In this, for the heading, I'm going to apply the font family. Let me give here like this one, Courier New with Courier Monospace. If you observe, the font style has been changed. Let's give here the font size. It is going to increase my font size as 50 px. The size of my font has been increased. And coming to the font style, if I give here like italic, it makes my text italic. And let's give the font weight also. If I give the value as bold, it makes my text bold. Okay. And also set the color for the text as red. Okay. And you can also give the text align property. The text align property is used to make the text either it may be center or the left. If I give like center, it makes my text to the center. Let me expand this first. If you observe, my heading is in the center. Okay. If I pass here as left, let me give here right, not left. If you observe, my heading is in the right side. Okay, let's give here center, not the right. Is center. The text align property is used to make the text either it may be the center or to the left. Let's give the text transform property. Text transform to uppercase. If you see the right side, all my heading is changed to the uppercase. If I give here to the lowercase, it will convert into the lowercase. If you see the right side, it has been changed to the lowercase. Let's give here the uppercase. Okay, it's good to look. Okay, let's apply the text shadow property. In this, I'm going to give the 2 pixels to the right and 3 pixels to the down and 4 pixels to become blur. And the text shadow color, let's give like gray color. Let's see. Okay, let's increase the value. It's 4 pixels. If you see behind the heading tag, there is a shadow. Let me increase this as 5 pixels. Let's set this one also 5 pixels. If you observe clearly, behind the heading tag, there is a shadow. This is how you can create the text shadow. Let's also apply this text properties and the font styles for the paragraph also. Let's set the font family as sans serif and font size as 18 px, 18 pixels. Okay, this has increased my font size. Next, the font style. Let's give like italic. And next property is I want to give the text transform property, text transform to the lowercase. Okay, all the text is in the lowercase. Okay, I'm going to use here the line height property. Let me give here like 1.7. If you observe, it adds the space between the lines. Let me give another property like letter spacing. Letter spacing as 4 px. Let me show you the difference. If you observe, there is a space between the letter to letter. Let me keep it as like 2 pixels, not 4 pixels. Okay, let's set it like 5 pixels. If you observe, there is a space in between this. Let's also give the word spacing property. It will create the space for words to word like 6 pixels. If you observe, there is a space between the words to word to word. Let's give like 9 pixels to get the more clarity. Let me maximize this. There is a space in between the word to word. Okay, let me apply the text decoration property, whether you need to be underline or none like that. Text decoration, underline. It will give you underline for your paragraph. It adds the underline for my paragraph. That's the look of our web page. We have applied the text properties as well as the fonts to our heading and the paragraph. That's how we can understand that how to apply these text properties as well as the fonts to our web page. Okay, let's move to the another topic. Here is our next topic, CSS box model. The CSS box model is the fundamental concept in the web design. It explains how the HTML elements look like a rectangular box. And this box includes the content, padding, border, and margin. Let's know one by one. Here, the content is the innermost part of the box. It consists of the text and images and others to be displayed. And coming to the padding, it adds the space between the content and the border. It just adds the space inside the box. And coming to the border, it adds a visible line around the box. And coming to the margin, it adds the space outside the box and separate it from the other elements. All these parts are work together to control the size and spacing on your web page. Let's see the example to get the more clarity. Let me open the VS Code. In this, open index.html file. Let me expand this first. Okay. Let's give the title name as CSS box model. Coming to the body, let's create one heading tag. Welcome to CSS box model. Let's create one div with class name as box. This give the text like hello world. Okay, let's apply the styles in the CSS file. For that, we have to link the file in the HTML file. You have to specify the CSS file in this. Okay, let's go to the CSS file. Okay, let's apply the CSS for the box. In this, I'm going to give the background color first. Let's give like crimson. Okay, let open the output. There is no background color. Okay, let me open my HTML file. Oh, okay, I have given here the dot. Let me remove it. Okay, here is my background color. Let's set the width and the height. Let's set the width as 400 pixels and the height as 300 pixels. Okay, the size has been reduced for the width as well as the height. Here, the width and the height defines the size of the content. And let's move to the padding. Here, the padding is nothing but it adds space inside the box. Observe carefully. If I give like 20 pixels, if you observe, there is a space in between the border and the content. You can also pass the four values. This is, let me give, this is 20 pixels from top and 40 pixels from right and bottom with 40 pixels and left as 30 pixels. You can give like that, but as of now I am just giving like 20 pixels. And coming to the border, it just add visible line around the box. Border, let me give here 5 pixels with solid color as Alice blue. The color is not visible. Let me take another this color. If you observe, there is a border around the box. If I give like 7 pixels, okay, it is visible now. There is a border around the box. And the next property is the margin property. Here the margin, let's give like 40 pixels. It adds space outside the box pixels. If you observe, it adds space around the box. You can also give here the four values. Margin from the top, we have fixed 40 pixels. You can set the right as 50 pixels. And coming to the bottom, you can set like 60 pixels. To the left, let's set as 60 pixels. You can set the four values for the top, right, bottom, and the left. As of now, I'm going to keep as like 40 pixels. It is going to apply for four sides as like 40 pixels. Let's give the text for the color as white to make it visible. Let's give like antique white. Okay. And I'm going to give one property called text align property center. Okay. It is center. If I inspect this, let me show you here. In this is the box, and this is the styles which we have applied is the 7 pixels and the 40. Let me go to this. This is my content area. If I hover on it, it is showing in like lavender color. We have applied the 400 as the width and the 300 pixels as the height. This defines the size of the content area. And coming to the padding, it just add the space between the border and the content. Here we have given the padding as 20 pixels. These 20 pixels has been applied for my four sides, for the top and the right and the bottom, and here is the left. And coming to the border, we have given the 7 pixels with solid green color. If I hover over it, you can see the left side. The 7 pixels has been applied for four sides. And coming to the margin, we have given the 40 pixels. It just add the space outside the box. If you see down below the welcome to the CSS box model, there is a space. This how you can add the spacing and the margin as well as the borders to your HTML elements. Knowing the box model help you to organize your web page neatly by controlling the spacings and border or even the element sizes. That's all about for the CSS box model. That's it for the today's video. In this video, we have seen the introduction. In introduction, we have covered the CSS syntax, different ways to add the CSS, and how CSS work with HTML. And we have also seen the selectors, CSS colors and backgrounds, text and fonts, and CSS box model. If you found this video is helpful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can't miss the next video.